George Krampanis, thanks so much for logging on to ShoreSportsZone.com. This is our Friday Week 5 highlight show. On tonight's episode, we've got 5 teams going for 5-0 marks. We get started right here at Wall Township High School, where the Crimson Knights had a big battle against Red Bank Catholic.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Red Bank Catholic is brought to you by Immediate Care Medical Walk-In of Red Bank.
Great crowd at Wall High School, a much-hyped game that met the hype. What a fantastic game by both teams. Opening drive for RBC. This is Logan Whalen out of the Wildcat. Look at him go. Whalen with a great run all the way down to the 9-yard line. It would lead to this. Zach Bear, short range. He's in the zone. RBC strikes first. It's 7-0 Casey's. Sean Larkin had a statement game against RBC. The Wall running back with a nice run here to the 30-yard line. And this is a good hard-nosed football player. Take a look here. He's got that wedge of grass and dirt in his helmet. And Larkin from the Wildcat finishes off the drive. We're tied up at 7 apiece. Second quarter. Nick Bruska at quarterback here. Good play call, nice spin move. Bruska, 16-yard touchdown run. The Caseys have a 14-7 lead. We have seen so many QBs in 2015 for RBC. It started with Tommy Lang and then Steve Lubisher. Both of those two quarterbacks are hurt. Nick Bruska, he's in there for the majority of the snaps. We saw Logan Whalen at the Wildcat. Okay, 4th and long. How about we try Jaden Key at QB? And I'll tell you what, this mix of QBs is working for RBC, and Jaden Key throws it deep. Look at Brandon Lombana come up with it. 36-yard touchdown catch. RBC up 14 on the road, 21-7. What a great play. Key is 2 for 2 throwing the football this year. And RBC had all the momentum in the first half. Nasir Darnell drags down Larkin at the half, 21-7. RBC in control, but third quarter, Eddie Scott decides to air it out. R.J. Janasek, that is an awesome catch. It deserves another look. Check out Janasek with the concentration. That is a perfectly thrown ball. That was a gain of 30 yards, and the drive would cap off when Eddie Scott finds Gene Scott. Touchdown Wall, 21-14, late in the third. And it was a big game. Look who's on hand. That's Detroit Lions tight end Tim Wright, who played for Wall. He's on injured reserve. Good to see him on the sideline supporting the alma mater. Now, fourth quarter, Nick Bruska throws it up there. Shane Ritchie, the INT. Down 7. Wall's defense comes up with a turnover. Good run there by Ritchie. The Crimson Knights now looking to tie the game at 21. But RBC's defense would respond. Check out Matt Ansell. Big pop right there. Keeps the ball out of R.J. Janasek's hands. And it looked like RBC was on its way to going up 14. Look at this great run by Nick Bruska. Relentless. And the push by the O-line. Look at them just put that extra effort in. RBC is on the move, but big play here. It's a fumble. Mike Andreyko able to fall on the loose football. And on the very next play, Eddie Scott, he doesn't have it. It's Sean Larkin on the halfback option. Chavez Coven, gone. Coven, a 64-yard touchdown run. We are tied up at 21 apiece. And the Wall defense does its job again. Bruska stuffed on third down. The whole Wall defense gets it on this stop. The Crimson Knights are going to get the ball back. Here's RBC punting it away. And with the ball on the ground, looks like, hey, maybe stay away from it. Poison, R.J. Janasek picks it up. And look at this big block right there. Oh, man. That was Andrew Chapman with the block. Janasek is able to bring it into RBC territory. And then they built off that momentum. Look at Sean Larkin go all the way down to the 30-yard line. Time is winding down. A minute to go. R.J. Janasek down at the 1-yard line. That was a beautiful ball thrown by Eddie Scott. Simply majestic. And then with 42.6 seconds to go, Larkin for the lead. Sean Larkin and Wall take a 27-21 advantage. And in the final minute, Nick Brusca has to air it out, and it's only fitting that Sean Larkin seals the deal with the INT. And what a win for the Wall Crimson Knights. And the Crimson Crazies have every reason to be all sorts of fired up. That's why we're here at Shore Sports Zone, to bring you great football games like this one. Wow, 27-21 is your final. Wall improves to 5-0 on the season. As you saw in those highlights, we saw two really good football teams go at it. This B North is just an absolute pleasure. One of the toughest conferences in New Jersey for my money. You got RBC, Wall, Mid-South, Mid-North, Ocean. They're all just going to beat each other up every single week. You see the numbers for Sean Larkin. 30 carries, 157 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It was the Wall defense creating those turnovers, and that last drive was just great team football. The O-line did its job. Larkin carried it, the clutch pass from Scott to Janasek, and don't forget about the punt return as well. When you add it all up, the Crimson Knights get a huge, huge win, and we talked with them after the game.
They had each other's back, and they believed at halftime, and it wasn't easy in the first half. They came out and smacked us around, but we made some plays on offense. Chip called a great game up there, and it made some plays in a big game.
Yeah, I mean, we just knew we had to get it done. You know, we didn't want to go to overtime with these guys. They're a great football team, but we just knew we had to get it done and stayed focused and went to work.
It means a lot. I mean, it's huge for our program. I mean, hopefully it opens a lot of eyes, keeps a lot of kids staying at home. RBC is a great team, and they played well, and they're always going to be a good team. Hopefully we can prove that we could always battle with them.
Well, the biggest thing is we're Wall. You know, we all grew up together. You know, we're our brothers out here. You know, it's RBC. They recruit from all around, and we told them we wanted it more today, and we had more heart, and it showed up on the scoreboard.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of the Manalapan Braves is brought to you by Hit Training.
In Manalapan, the Braves off to a great 4-0 start in 2016, hosting Colts Neck. Manalapan out to a 27-8 lead at the half. Third quarter action, Luke Corsione to Scott Scherzer. Scherzer picks up 15 tough yards, and it would lead to this. Corsione to L.J. Holder. That's an awesome catch. Holder is committed to the Temple Owls. You see why there. That's D1 talent. 17-yard touchdown makes it 34-8. The Manalapan defense has been relentless all year long. Deshaun Taylor gets into the backfield for the quarterback sack. Manalapan has so many dangerous weapons. At the top of the list, this guy, Naeem Mayfield, gathers the punt that went past him, and this is unbelievable. Look at the guys who get their jersey or their hands on Naeem Mayfield, but he won't be stopped. That is one of the best punt returns we've seen in the last 3 years. 60 yards for Naeem Mayfield. Man, that was something else. Yeah, you're going to see that on the top plays this Sunday on ShoreSportsZone.com. Manalapan rolls to a 41-8 win over Colts Neck. Scott Scherzer had 4 catches for 56 yards. You got to talk about Luke Corsione. If you go on the stat zone on ShoreSportsZone.com, you're going to see Corsione. His TD to INT ratio is awesome. It's going to be 14-1. Corsione is throwing it around the pitch, and Manalapan's defense has given up 20 points in 5 games. After the game, our Alex Lorenzo caught up with Naeem Mayfield, who talked about that amazing punt return that covered 60 yards for a touchdown.
I mean, it was kind of weird because the ball kept like flying and going, and I didn't know, I couldn't determine whether it was going to fall short or go over my head. So I tried to catch it. It went through my hands, and I just picked it up, and my teammates gave me blocks, and I just tried to make something happen, and I scored.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Middletown South is brought to you by Angela Alessi and Weichert Realtors. Shore Sports Zone's coverage of the Long Branch Green Wave is brought to you by Rosario Realty.
Let's go to the Swamp. Middletown South at home looking to get to 5-0. The Eagles hosting the Long Branch Green Wave. Opening kickoff. We're going to stop it right here. Count up this convoy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. Samson Dubé is going to get treated like the Secret Service with the president. Dubé's got a convoy, and no one's going to touch him. Wow, that is unbelievable special teams play by the entire unit. Middletown South on the opening kickoff takes a 7-0 lead. And then Anish Agarwal goes to work through the air. Jeff Lewandowski, nice catch right there. Into Long Branch territory, pushed out at the 35. The balance of this offense is strong. Anthony Summy, the sophomore running back, great run right here. Summy to the 15-yard line. It would lead to this. Anthony Summy from 5 yards out. He's in the end zone. Just like that, bang, bang, 14-0 Middletown South in front. Late first quarter, Agarwal to Jeremy Joyce. Watch him absorb a big hit right there. It's 14-0 at the end of one. Second quarter, Long Branch trying to get something going. Juwan Wilkins, that's a nice catch there by Pasa Fields, but the drive would stall. Anish Agarwal, nice play action here, goes up top. That's Jake Krellin, one of the best defensive ends in the short conference. He can catch the ball as well. Krellin from 32 yards makes it 21-0. Late in the first half, Agarwal trying to get one more score before going to the locker room, but the pass is picked off by Elijah Sarin. Good job by the Long Branch D there at the half. It's 21-0. Third quarter, the Middletown South D shines again. Check out Ian Porter climbing the ladder. That is an awesome interception by Ian Porter. So many guys on this Eagles defense that make plays. Good to see Ian Porter on the highlights. And then it was time for the offense to go back to work. Here's Agarwal with a nice run. And then Agarwal to the air, finds Jeff Lewandowski. Lewandowski played a great game. You know, it started with the block on that opening kickoff touchdown. Made some good catches, and then the drive is capped off. Chaz Alessi from 3 yards out. Alessi had 68 yards. And the Middletown South Eagles go on to a 35-7 win over Long Branch. The Eagles are now 5-0. Samson Dubé had 2 touchdowns, including that great opening return touchdown. Summy ran for 94. Middletown South gets a week off, and then get ready. 2 weeks from now, it'll be Toms River North at Middletown South. That is going to be one of the biggest regular season games of the year. Can't wait for that one. The Eagles will rest and get ready as Middletown South is 5-0 thanks to a 35-7 win over Long Branch.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of the St. John Vianney Lancers is brought to you by Paver Restoration.
In Holmdel, crosstown rivals get together. St. John Vianney looking to get to 5-0. The Hornets would have their hands full with the mighty Lancers. Check out Hazik Daniels here, airing it out. Zaire Sterling makes plays every single week. This is a 46-yard gain down to the 10-yard line. Johnny Buchanan up and over. Nice little hop there by Buchanan. He's in the zone. Johnny Buchanan from 10 yards out makes it 7-0 SJV. Daniels able to mix and match with his weapons. This is Samuel East. Great grab right there. Good for 13 yards. Chris Chukwuneke out of the lineup. No worries because Johnny Buchanan can handle the load. This is a pretty awesome run here. Nice job changing fields for Johnny Buchanan. A 35-yard touchdown run. 14-0 St. John Vianney just 4 minutes and 10 seconds into the game. How about that Lancers defense? Been awesome all year long. Nick Denseski, 32, drags down the Hornet. St. John Vianney's defense was dialed in, and so was Hazik Daniels here. He finds Samuel East. Nice gain right there, and then the same combination one more time. Hazik Daniels up top. Check out the feet of Samuel East. Get them both in. That's a great catch in the back of the end zone. 24-yard touchdown makes it 21-0 St. John Vianney. And then Zaire Sterling one more time. Look at Zaire Sterling go. 40 yards for Zaire Sterling. He would add a punt return touchdown as well, as it was all business for St. John Vianney. It was an easy day at the office as the Lancers go on to a 35-7 win over Holmdel. Nice job by the Hornets getting in the end zone in the second half. A young program looking to build confidence. The hard work's got to happen day in and day out, and hopefully it'll pay off with some wins down the road. St. John Vianney's got a big showdown next week. The Lancers take on Rumson-Fair. That's one of the best games in New Jersey. And, of course, Shore Sports Zone will be there to bring it all for you. I want to thank our sponsor, Paver Restoration. They're the reason we can document these great wins week in and week out by SJV. The Lancers are 5-0 thanks to a 35-7 road win at Holmdel.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Rumson-Fair is brought to you by Serve Pro of Eatontown Long Branch.
Rumson-Fair coming off a tough loss to Mid-South. Quarterback Michael O'Connor out with an injury. Jack Volker gets the start, his first career start against Matawan. And here's Volker to the air. Tyler Pearson the catch all the way down to the 1-yard line. But give credit to John Kay's Matawan defense. 4th and goal, they come up with a stop. No points for RFH. Matawan takes over. But later in the first, RFH turns to its run game. Matt Vecchiarelli doing good things in his senior season. That's 14 yards. And then Vecchiarelli again. He's a great combination of power and elusiveness. That's a 12-yard gain, and it would lead to this. Thomas Chapin, 23 yards out. He's got a great leg. Boom. Would have been good from 43. 3-0 early in the second quarter. And after a stop by the defense, here's Volker over the middle. Colin Pavlik, see ya. 40-yard scoring play. At the half, Rumson-Fair has a 10-0 lead, and the RFH defense does its part, pitching a shutout as Rumson-Fair gets back on track with a 27-0 win over Matawan. Volker, those are good numbers for his first career start. 7 of 10 for 95 yards. Colin Pavlik with a pair of touchdown catches. And as we mentioned in the previous game, the big showdown next week, Rumson-Fair taking on St. John Vianney. Hope to see Michael O'Connor back in the lineup at QB for RFH. It should be a great one. The Bulldogs are 3-1 as they blank Matawan on the road. 27-0 is your final.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of the Raritan Rockets is brought to you by Bayshore Community Bank.
Let's go to Hazlet. Great job by the Raritan Rocket cheerleaders. They had plenty to cheer about. 35-0 Raritan at the half over Monmouth Regional. Third quarter. We see Jay Eustace going to the air. Vito Aleo on the pass breakup. Good job there. Raritan's going to get the ball back. And Aleo was unbelievable in this game. He was the story. Here is Vito Aleo off to the races. This is an awesome run. Look at him maneuver. Vito Aleo almost takes it all the way. 60-yard gain for Vito Aleo. It would lead to this. Aleo from 6 yards out. Touchdown Raritan. It's 42-0. And we want to put a spotlight. Take a look there. Always want to talk about the O-line. That's 79 Timothy Epple. Check out this block he lays. Boom. And Aleo takes care of the rest. Touchdown for Raritan. It was a dominating day for Vito Aleo. Good job by Monmouth Regional here. Eustace finds Elijah Walker. Elijah Walker keeps making plays on Shore Sports Zone, but this was the Vito Aleo show as Raritan is back on track in a major way. A 2-game win streak for the Rockets. 42-7 is your final. Look at the numbers for Vito Aleo. 256 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. You saw his third score of the game. So Raritan had that tough schedule early on. They weathered the storm, and here they come. They're starting to get their stride. 2 straight wins, a chance to go for 3 in a row next week when they take on Matawan in what should be a spirited game. After the game, our Jay Cook talked to Vito Aleo, who smartly gave credit to his O-line as a big reason for his big night.
Blocking, my linemen did the best in the shore, and they blocked the holes, make them big, and I just run through them. Saw the hole open, and I just followed it because I knew my linemen, they were going to get it done. And, it feels good just to get in the zone after, everybody does their job. It's executed well.
Let's head down to Barnegat. B-South battle between Jackson Liberty and the Bengals. And it was a good start for Jackson Liberty. Here's Ryan Downer on the screen, and Downer is gone. 40-yard touchdown. Jackson Liberty takes a 7-0 lead. Then Jaquel Spears, short TD run. They add a 2-point conversion, 15-0 Jackson Liberty. But here comes Barnegat on the comeback trail. Jake Schmitz, gone. That's great speed by Schmitz. 15-7 at the half. Barnegat gets a field goal in the second half. It's a 15-10 game, fourth quarter. Bad snap. The Bengals get great field position at the 18-yard line. And 2 plays later, Jake Schmitz, his second touchdown run. And that right there is your game winner. Down 15-0. The Barnegat Bengals come back for a 16-15 win over Jackson Liberty. Jake Schmitz had those 2 touchdown runs, and we want to give a special thanks to head coach Rob Davis, who gives us access to his personal huddle account, and we got a chance to look at the Barnegat film, and we wanted to bring you these highlights. Whoever's shooting those highlights up top for Barnegat, we got to get you a Shore Sports Zone t-shirt, a hat, whatever you want, because you did a great job. And we're so happy that we can bring you these Barnegat highlights. The Bengals are now 3-2 with a 1-point win over Jackson Liberty.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Point Boro is brought to you by Tech Art Builders and Twin Boro Allshore.
Let's go to Manchester. We are finishing our show with a bang. One of the best games of the night. Point Boro looking to go to 5-0, but the Hawks come to play on their home field. Early on, James Farah sets the tone. Look at him escape there. Unbelievable balance. Wow. James Farah with a 53-yard touchdown run. Man, that is going to be a top play nominee for sure. Incredible run. 6-0. Point Boro in front. But this Manchester team was thinking upset. And this is Jerry Lee Ward to Tariq Ali. He is wide open. Ali to the 22-yard line. But on the next play, Point Boro is going to create a turnover. It's McNamara with the INT. Great job by the Point Boro defense right there. But the Manchester defense would respond right back. The sack and forced fumble by Chris Blaine. Eric Cowan's able to fall on the loose football. And Manchester's back in business, down 6-0. Jalen Glenn with a good run here. 27 yards all the way down to the 3-yard line. It would lead to this. Jerry Lee Ward to Pat Dombrowski. 3-yard touchdown. 7-6 Manchester in the second. After a 3-and-out, the Hawks go back to work on offense. Ward. That's a great pass play there to Bobby Hart, and it would lead to this. Here comes Jalen Glenn. That's a nice misdirection right there. Glenn makes it 14-6. So now Manchester has got an 8-point lead late in the first half. And things were going to get even better because the next play from scrimmage, here comes Dylan Cerverat. Thank you. Wow. That is an awesome play. He picks off that reverse pitch. Sound the upset alert. 21-6 Manchester at the half. But this Point Boro team with a 4-0 record, looking to get to 5-0. Whatever Coach Matt Salento said in the locker room worked. It was a massive third quarter for Point Boro, and James Farah ran roughshod. Look at him go. Farah with another long TD run. This is 53 yards. It's 21-13. After a 3-and-out by the Point Boro defense, Farah's going to show off his arm as well. Farah to Hayden Fry. Good catch right there. And it would lead to this. Tanner Gordon Look at him go. Gordon finds the end zone. 15-yard touchdown. It's 21-19. The Panthers are going to go for 2, looking to tie the game. And it's Farah. Rolling right. Hayden Fry's got it. 2-point conversion. We're tied up at 21 apiece. And James Farah has become a player to watch. He has been electric. This is his 3rd long touchdown run. Man, James Farah puts Point Boro in front, 28-21. That's 22 points in the 3rd quarter for the Panthers. What an explosion. But you got to give credit to Manchester. It would have been real easy for these guys to fold up shop, but it didn't work out that way because Jalen Glenn did some damage. 37-yard run to the 13, under 2 minutes to go. It's 4th and goal. Glenn is in the end zone. 28-27, under 2 minutes to go. So what's the call here? Kick the extra point or go for the win? Gutsy call here by Manchester. Does it pay off? No. The Point Boro defense makes the biggest play of the game right there. 2-point conversion, no good. And that is your final. Wow, what a game. Point Pleasant Boro down 21-6 at the half, scores 22 in the second, and they make that stop on the 2-point conversion. I'll tell you a couple of things we've learned in this game. Manchester, much improved. It was great to see Jalen Glenn on those highlights, and this Manchester team did some great things. They are much better, and you have to admire their guts. Hey, they're playing at home, looking for a huge upset, so they go for 2 in the win. I think that's a great call, and it didn't work out, but still, Manchester, fun to watch. Point Boro survives the upset bid. They win by 1. 28-27 is your final. The Panthers are now 5-0 on the season.
We remind you every week that Shore Sports Zone would not be possible without our sponsors, and we want to give a special thanks to our newest sponsors. You just saw the highlights of Point Pleasant Boro getting the win over Manchester. It wouldn't have been possible to bring you that great action without Tech Heart Builders and the combination of All Shore Occupational and Hand Therapy along with Twin Boro Physical Therapy. They're the reason we'll be at many more Point Pleasant Boro games all season long. Coming up on Saturday, 3 more games to close out Week 5. And don't forget on Sunday to vote for Monmouth Building Center game balls right here on ShoreSportsZone.com. For our team at Shore Sports Zone, I'm Rich Krampanis. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you all weekend long with more high school football action right here on ShoreSportsZone.com.